Academics and Deputy Director of the AIB at AUMP Gwalior. He has more than 20 years of experience of teaching, published more than 20 papers in various journals of international and national repute, has guided many PhD scholars, attended many national and international conferences, and he is one of the pillars of AUMP Gwalior. Without wasting any more time, I would like him to kindly proceed with his keynote.
Bioremediation is a sort of new technique that is being used to overcome the problem of pollution that is being observed nowadays all over the world, and it's an effort in the direction of rectifying this problem of pollution. Earlier there was problem of disposal of the molasses, and now it is the problem of over production of this molasses spent was that is creating a lot of problem to the water and other resources of the environment. In this I have tried to provide the remedy using some microorganisms. Before I start the remedial aspect, I would like to give you some idea about the effects of the distillery industry in India. Alcohol is being used in India since the ancient times, including Vedic times. Then it was called Somrash and was used not only for its invigorating effect but also in worship. In modern system of medicine, including Ayurvedic system, alcohol is widely used. In India, first distillery was set up at Kronpur. This is a term used by the police people. Kanpur was called Kronpur, and now it is called Kanpur. 1805 by Carew and Company Limited for manufacture of rum for the army. The technique of fermentation, distillation and blending of alcoholic beverages was developed in our country on the lines of practices adopted overseas. The distillery industry today consists broadly of two parts: potable alcohol and industrial alcohol, being utilized in the ratio of approximately 52% for potable and the balance 48% for industrial use. The potable distillery producing industries, Indian made liquor and country liquor has a steady but limited demand with a growth rate of about 7 to 10% per annum. The industrial alcohol, on the other hand, is showing a declining trend because of high price of molasses, which is invariantly used as substrate for production of alcohol. The utilization of ethyl alcohol or ethanol, now popularly known as alcohol, for industrial use is a recent phenomenon, and its importance came into being towards the end of the Second World War. With the protection being granted to the sugar industry in 1932, a large number of sugar factories were established in the country, particularly in Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh, where irrigation facilities existed for cultivation of sugarcane. This increase resulted in accumulation of molasses, which resultantly caused unmanageable environmental problems.
Melodeon is one problem that probably was hampering the cities and the towns where the distilleries have been situated over the last 5 decades. So that's a very great thing, and you need to be congratulated. I'm sure he needs a big hand. Thank you very much. Now, he would speak on the bioremediation of carbofuran pesticide by fungi isolated from local agricultural soil. Kindly try to finish in 5 to 6 minutes. We are already far behind our schedule.
Good afternoon to all of you. It's my privilege and honor to present a piece of my research work in this conference. My research title is Bioremediation of a carbofuran pesticide by fungi isolated from local agricultural soil. Now let's come to the introduction. Basically, bioremediation is a novel technology that aimed at the removal of the contaminant, specifically coming to the pesticide from the environment. This process usually occurs in soil, from where microorganism removes or break down the pesticide into the less toxic compound, and by utilizing pesticide as a carbon or an energy source. Now, what is pesticide? Pesticide is basically a chemical compound that are created and dispersed into the environment in order to kill a living creature, that is called as a pest. Increased pesticide usage in agriculture, however, have resulted in a green revolution, but its hazardous effect cannot be ignored. Hence, there has been considerable pressure on the human mankind, farmers and the consumers to remove or eliminate this pesticide from agriculture and domestic domains. Carbofuran, in which my study is basically concerned. Carbofuran is an N-methyl carbamate pesticide that is used for controlling insect pests of crops, basically rice, canola, alfalfa, corn, potatoes and strawberries. Its chemical structure comprises of a benzopyrenyl ring comprising of an N-methyl carbamate insecticide, carbamate group. Now, what's the reason of selecting a carbofuran? Basically, carbofuran is a highly toxic and an inhibitor of acetylcholinesterase enzyme that can cause neurotoxic effects in humans and the wildlife. Secondly, its increased uses in agriculture and industries have resulted in an accumulation of its residue in the ground and surface water. Therefore, its removal is quite an essential task. The strategies which were carried on for its removal is reported, that is through the hydrolysis. Thank you, sir.
May I have another presentation by Vinita Srivastava and Tarun Khan on the influence of antioxidants with cytokinin-induced high-frequency shoot regeneration in Pongamia. After this, we may have Ashok Singh Tamar and Dilip Sharma, and then we would have another presentation by Sangeeta Kumari on the appraisal and biodegradation potential, and then lastly, a review of comparative study over alternative fuel biodiesel for environmental friendly emissions by Ashutosh Verma and Sanjeev Sharma. I hope all are ready.
Good afternoon to all of you. Myself Vinita Srivastava from Arid Forest Research Institute, AFRI. Here I am presenting the topic entitled Influence of Antioxidant with Cytokinin-Induced High-Frequency Shoot Regeneration in Pongamia pinnata PD, a potential biodiesel plant. This is the general introduction related to biodiesel. Plant oil used for biodiesel. There are so many plants like canola, castor, coconut seeds, flax, hemp, rapeseed, safflower, jatropha, Pongamia, etc. Among the important biodiesel plants, Pongamia pinnata had been taken up for this present study. This is the picture, and it's also my mother plant in nature, flowering stage and fruiting stage. This is a general introduction of plant which is belong to the family Leguminaceae, nitrogen fixing tree. The seed of this tree contains about 30 to 40% oil, and the most important thing is seed oil contains two flavonoids, pongamol and caranja, which make it unsuitable for edible purpose. Pongamol has been recognized as biodiesel as several parameters of diesels. These are some uses of plant. Pongamia also valuable medicinal properties. The reference literature related to different systems of medicine in India, especially related to Ayurveda, are full of miraculous therapeutical properties of Pongamia.
As we already know, straight vegetable oil has a great potential. It was already noticed by Rudolf Diesel, who was the inventor of diesel engine. He stated that the use of vegetable oil for engine fuels may seem insignificant today, but such oil may become in course of time as important as petroleum and the coal tar products of the present time. As we already know, biodiesel is diesel which replaces the fuel by manufacturing from vegetable oil, recycled cooking grease oil or animal fats. Because plants produce oil from sunlight and air and can do so year after year on crop boards, so these oils are renewable. The major stumbling block are viscosity, because the vegetable oils have larger molecules, up to 4 times than the typical diesel molecules. So it has it needs some modification in diesel engine for proper injection and injection timing. Here higher viscosity of vegetable oil up to 12 times of that of the diesel fuel enters in the injection process, and inefficient mixing with air contribute to incomplete combustion, which leads to more deposit information. So that leads to incomplete combustion phenomena.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson, dignitaries and all the delegates. I am here to present my topic, this appraisal of biodegradation potential and influence factor of microbes to treat the wastewater. Biodegradation is a recycling of the organic component, as you know, into the simpler form. The undesirable changes in the physical and chemical biological properties of the water, that is called wastewater. Microorganisms generally they accelerate the potential activities, they accelerate the reactions to degrade into the simpler form. Next is the heterotrophic bacteria helps in the recycling of the wastewater. In the beginning, aerobic bacteria dominates and decomposes the organic material, and the anaerobic bacteria predominates. Protease and amylase are the key degradative enzymes, because most of the organic component which is present in the wastewater, that is made up of carbohydrates and proteins. The present studies evaluate the potential ability of the active bacterial isolates to treat the pollutants of the wastewater of hospital discharge.
Please go to the data.
Now this is material method, isolation and maintenance of that cultures, then identification by this Bryant kit and all, then biodegradation studies.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir and delegates. It's me Ashutosh Sharma, and I am going to present a presentation on the study of a review of comparative study over alternative fuel for environment friendly emission. As we all know that the energy requirement for developing nations and society play a vital role, but there are some energy constraints. To overcome these constraints, number of research have been done in the past few years. In this context, I have reviewed the study of biofuels, which I would like to share. First of all, I would like to tell you the scenario in India. Global installed power generation capacity is estimated at 500 gigawatt, of which India accounts for 174 gigawatt. The demand for power has been increased in India due to growth in the country's economy. Over the last 10 years and peaks, demand shortage averaged around 8 to 12% respectively.
Would you go to the data rather than speaking about the introduction?
Yes. The problem we are facing today is the source of energy. We need to think about an alternative source of energy because our dependency on the fossil fuel is almost 80%. And the outcomes of the fossil fuels are hazardous toxic substances like oxides of nitrogen and sulfur and carbon monoxide. So we need to think for the alternative fuel. Biofuel is one of the alternative source of fuel? But the answer is no. Biofuel are not the answer to the sustainable energy, but biofuel may be a part of the answer. Biofuel may offer advantages over the fossil fuel, but the magnitude of these advantages depends on how a biofuel crop is grown and converted into the usable fuel.
First of all, I would like to thank Professor Pathak for giving me an opportunity to be here in front of you and share my thoughts. As you must have seen, this talk was originally to be given by Professor P. Ghosh, who is the Executive Director of this institute. But because of his medical emergency, he could not come here, and I am standing in his place. By any stretch of imagination, I cannot match his experience nor his wisdom, but I try to do my best with the presentation, which is basically his making, but I have modified it a little bit to suit my background. So let me have my first slide, please. I will divide my talk in 3 parts. Hopefully I'll be able to complete in about 20-25 minutes. The first thing I want to talk about is the underground revolutionaries. And the second is about the walking bioreactor. And then to achieve this, what are the nuts, bolts and the spare parts that are required for the biological engineering. Underground revolutionaries. See, it will be possible to feed the world's 9 billion people in 2050 at an acceptable cost, provided everything from high-tech seeds to low-tech farming practices are in place. You look at from the Indian point of view, we will be having about 1.6 billion people will be stabilized at that point of time, and equally large number of animals. We need to feed both these categories.
Under Dr. Vinay Sharma, I am working on the problem of fluoride. The title of my work is Fluoride Ion Contamination in Groundwater and its Assessment in Soil and Vegetation of Nivai Tehsil, Town District, Rajasthan. Now come to the introduction. The global environmental problem concerning the ecological contamination is serious and is one of the major contributor of abiotic stress to plants and animals. Out of 92 known elements present in Earth's crust, only 17 are known to be essential to all living parts for normal growth of plants. Among them, fluoride is one of them. Among these, at high concentration, fluoride possesses a considerable potential for causing ecological damage as they are not biodegradable and slowly accumulate in the environment. Fluorine is one of the 92 naturally occurring elements, is a member of halogen family that is pale yellow in color, pale yellow gas which is extremely reactive. As a result, it is never found free in nature but only combined with other elements. These compounds are called fluorides. Fluoride is a common known metal contaminant found everywhere. Its accumulation occurs in vegetables, particularly in areas irrigated and non-irrigated soils with highly fluoride contaminated water may be a threat to human health.
Honorable Vice Chancellor to announce the result by the poster.
Research Poster Award goes to Vidima Arya from Department of Biotechnology, Maharashtra Marketing. I'll start with the third prize. This goes to Monica Sharma from BSc third semester Biotechnology.
On behalf of the organizing committee for the 2 days international conference on green biotechnology, which was held on 12th and 13th November, first of all, I would like to thank from core of my heart the chairman of organizing committee, Professor Dr. Raj Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Rajasthan. Without his wholehearted support and moral support, it would not have been possible to organize the conference on the scale it was organized. Thereafter, I would like to thank the entire faculty of Institute of Biotechnology, who on my request worked day and night, and few of them shifted even to the campus. Otherwise, they stay in Jaipur. I thank my faculty members, each one wholeheartedly, and I assure them that without their cooperation, it was very difficult to manage the conference in such a short time on this scale. I thank very much the Chancellor and the patron of the MIT group, the Chancellor Shri Aseem Chauhan. Without his moral support and financial support, it was extremely difficult to manage this conference on this scale. And I have sensed, I thank profusely Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan and our Chancellor,